Shalom and welcome to day 46 of the Omer count from Adat Yeshua Messianic Synagogue here in Norwich. And as always, I'm the Rabbi with my thoughts for this day. We're almost at the end of our Omer count. Shavuot is in sight. But I want to just give you some final thoughts really. And there's a couple of verses I want to quote first of all from Psalm 67, 1-2, which I think are some of our favourite verses. And it says this: God, be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, Selah, that thy way may be known upon the earth and thy salvation among all the nations. It's a beautiful couple of verses, but it's an interesting couple of verses because it really highlights for us a core issue. Is salvation just for us, the Jewish people, or is it for everyone else too? And it seems that right from the very get-go in all of this, that God's desire has always been universal, shall we say, in outlook. It's always been focused for all nations and not just for us as Jewish people. The big news in all of this, I think, for us as Jews, that we have to recognize is not only we who have sinned. Every single human being has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And the standard by which we have sinned is the Torah. It's the revelation, the righteous revelation, the benchmark by which God judges everyone. The book of Revelation is very clear that the scrolls are opened at the end and every human being is judged by the righteous standards contained therein. It's not just for us. Wouldn't it be tragic if it was only us as the Jewish people who had actually sinned? The rest of humanity was perfect because nothing applies to them. Right? Doesn't seem to make any sense at all. We cannot, in the result of all of this, actually fall into the trap of, and there are traps around this, so-called two-covenant theology, where there is a covenant of salvation for the Jewish people and there's a separate covenant of salvation for the Gentiles. If you speak to Jewish people on this, I'll tell you quite clearly what this is all about. For Jewish people, the way of salvation is through Moshe, through keeping the Torah alone. That is our way of salvation. And Yeshua, or as the Jewish people often like to say, Jesus, is the way of salvation. His covenant is the way of salvation for the Gentiles. It's very convenient, of course, because that means for we as Jews, we don't have to worry about Yeshua. What happened to him, what he did 2,000 years ago is of no concern to us whatsoever at that point, because as long as we have Moshe, we can be saved. Born a Jew, die a Jew, go to heaven. And the message that Yeshua brought was, of course, only then for the Gentiles, assuming, as most Jewish people do, that Yeshua set up a new religion for the Gentiles. And he has nothing to do with us. Unfortunately, of course, the church for 2,000 years have propagated exactly this, that the Yeshua was not for the Jewish people. He was only for the Gentiles and for people. They went and preached his salvation too. Only fairly recently, and I mean recent, in the last 200 years, has that message of salvation at all even been aimed at our people, and sadly even then aimed in a wrong way at our people. The reality, however, in all of this is that salvation is only in Yeshua Mashiachenu. He is the only way to our God. He's the only salvation available for the Jew first and then for the Gentile. He is the only path. There are not two separate ways. There has always been a universal outlook. As the psalmist says, that your way may be known upon the earth and your salvation among all nations, not just for us. It's fantastic that we as Jews should know the way of salvation, but it is selfish if we only keep it to ourselves. We have to go out and preach it to the nations. No two covenant theologies, no two separate ways to God. There is only one way. As Yeshua said, no one comes to the Father except through me. Doesn't matter whether you're born Jewish or whether you're born Gentile, the only way to salvation in Adonai Hashem is through the name of Yeshua Mashiachenu. That's why we preach to our own people and why we preach to the nations too. Thank you for listening today, and I will see you a little bit earlier tomorrow, I hope, as we continue this last week of counting the Omer. Toda Rabbi, Bye-bye.